I'd be too scared to drive any of these cars.
Yeah, look, tell me what's the vibes, what's the mood? Yeah, I just hit a mic key for the juice. Yeah, ain't no capping, I'ma tell the truth. I've been winning for so long, it's hard to lose. Yeah, Dio, be my source. Christian like Dior. Yeah, I can't start when I'm far, I just get back up. Yeah, I've been quiet all along on my TP toes. Yeah, I can't keep it to myself, I just give and go. I'm a visionist.
It's Wednesday, March 1st, the first day of National Women's History Month. We are broadcasting
You look at me.
on Wilshire, because you are a woman,
Yeah,
Wilshire
the only one in
Boulevard,
here.
right? RD, what do we even call this garage? Has it got a name?
Headquarters, Wires Only headquarters.
We are at Wires Only headquarters with RD, the founder and creator of Wires Only. I got I got the woman over here, right? I got
The one and the
Kat,
only.
and I got Cam
right here.
I got a guy over there that's got a Back to the Future's vest on that I like, and I got LJ. We are here, and we got so much to talk about. So we're oh, by the way, the name of the show is Name Drop, right? And obviously everyone name drops in Hollywood. It's kind of like the blue check mark in Instagram. It can be tacky or lame sometimes, but RD, it can be effective sometimes.
It sure can.
So-
Absolutely.
You can build a whole business.
It
And
can.
build a whole business. I wanted to start with this. This is the first question. We'll be off and running. The first time I met you was through SteveWillDoIt. I'm his uncle, right? Steve DeLeonardis.
Love Steve.
And you pulled up in all of these soccer mom vans, what it looked like to me.
Yes.
Okay?
Sprinters.
Like minivans?
And by the way, I
Okay,
was there at
Sprinter
11.
vans.
I was at the airport at 11:30. They don't show up till 4:30. Jesus. Just sitting there.
That checks out.
Yeah, and I go, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden, these sliding doors open up, and the interior is like better than my condo. There's like luxury chairs, like Netflix and video games, and I go, what? How? So where does that vision come from? How do you even come up with that vision? Is it a
I
dream?
mean, that was a crazy day. Steve just asked us to pick him up from the airport. But little did we know he was going to another airport and needed some Sprinters, some custom Maybach vans, some Ferraris. We had, I don't know, 5 or 6 cars at the, drop of a hat. We just took him to his house. We were leaving. We were going home. He's like, oh, yeah, by the way, in 10 minutes, I'm going to Cabo. I need you to come with me, meet my uncle at the airport. I've got the plane standing by. And he's like, grab this cooler, full of happy dads and jump in the car. And I'm like, I got to go back to work. He's like, come on, it's only going to take a minute. The cool thing about Steve is he rides in something, he ends up buying it. So I'm like, okay, sure, fine, let's do it. So we get in the car, we go to the airport. The jet's there with the door open. It's the first time we met.
Yeah. How many people did he have? Like, there's about 25
Yeah,
people, right?
25
Friends
people,
and all
yep.
that. So
The jeweler.
jewelry.
The jeweler came and did the delivery.
Remember I kept trying to get an engagement ring? What a cheapo. I was in a real relationship. If I got an engagement
This is
ring,
true.
you know that I was going to give it to my girl.
This is true.
All right,
You were like trying to get
we're
it
not
for
together
free.
anymore. I digress. Moving
Okay.
forward, but I was
I
like,
saw
hey, you
it.
got an engagement
I hope
ring
she
in
watches
there?
this.
We had the car guys there. We had the jewelers there. We had you there. And they had about 20 other people there for this flight.
It was crazy.
So we pulled up to the plane and we had, our entire fleet. And the best part about it, Steve was like, hey, I'll buy one of these. I'll take one of these vans and I'll take one of these Sprinters. And I appreciate it. I'm headed down to Cabo, which was insane.
I mean, listen.
Did you roll through to Cabo?
I didn't.
No,
I
okay.
went on the plane and we were chopping it up. I was about to go, and then I was like, let me just hang here.
You made the right decision.
Yeah.
You made the right decision because, I got really exuberant. I mean, it's a 5-star place. It's unbelievable. I'm a light beer drinker. I might have had a few shots of tequila. Wowie zowie. But I live to tell about it. But listen, we love Steve DeLeonardis, right? We love
Bring
him.
the smokes. Yeah.
But we have to bash him a little bit. Does my nephew live on Planet Steve time?
100%. Best guy on the planet. It's the thing about Steve is he's always, he loves his friends. He loves taking care of people.
Yes, he does.
And he films it, and everything he films is what he really does. The first time I met him, he actually came to my office in flip-flops with a bottle of tequila and wanted to go on a test drive in the car, completely hammered.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm
No,
like,
it's not.
maybe you shouldn't drink and drive. He's like, I don't even care about this car. I'm like, okay, no problem. He goes,
But I do. It's mine.
I said, yeah, well, I don't want you to get into a wreck. So I said, do you have a license? He hands me his license. He's from Florida. He has the same birthday as I do. So I'm like, okay, this is getting crazy. So he's like about to jump in the car, completely hammered and pull off. And I'm like, hold on, wait a second.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you know what? He goes, I'm just giving this car to my friend as a gift. You know, this guy helped me get started. And he bought a Range Rover and he gave it to his friend and he really gave it to him. And it was a gift. That's the first time I met him.
That's really cool.
I've been waiting for that gift for 5 years now.
You're next on the list.
You know, and I don't even
That's
need...
why we're here, Timmy. Surprise.
Well, no, listen. I honestly, if you gave me one of these cars, I wouldn't even accept it because they're too beautiful. Listen, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm a terrible driver.
It's okay.
And
You're a Philly driver.
I try. Listen, I try to drive well, but these cars are too beautiful. Like
that's why you gotta have a driver.
That's exactly right. I need a driver. Cam, actually, I saw you drive to Vegas. You're terrible.
What are you talking about?
Your car blew up like a tugboat.
He drove half the way. I'm gonna blame myself.
Yeah, I saw that. Your car almost didn't leave Vegas.
It didn't. It straight up did not.
It did not.
It did not.
It wound
It
up
didn't.
on a.
Yeah,
There's a
we told them.
cemetery with
U-Haul.
your truck in it.
Yeah.
Cam is definitely not our driver.
Yeah.
No chance. But I do need a driver. But
But I do need to turn in the Prius. So what can I get for that? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Whatever you want. I
What's
mean,
the trade-in value?
this Maybach would look great
Yeah.
with you and Timmy in the back, and we'll find a driver.
I love it.
Done.
I love the day I met you. I loved those minivans.
The Maybach vans, yes, custom vans.
Yeah, they're dope. And the thing is,
them minivan.
Kardashian loves them, right?
Kim bought one. Kanye bought one.
Because no one
Name drop.
knows. Like the thing is, that thing pulls up. Paparazzi has no idea.
No
what's
idea.
going on. So you're in luxury, chilling, driving all over the place. Boom, you get off a Rodeo Drive. Hey man, paparazzi's missed the boat. If you want them to miss the boat, you know what I mean?
100%.
Here, let me get this out of the way. This is this podcast is sponsored by Del Taco. It's no run for the border.
Jesus.
Oh my God, these are
Did you want?
bangers.
No, I'm good.
You got a cutter too for me?
Mike, do you have a cutter?
I should have one of my. These are great cigars, but we have to get back to, like, obviously from Florida. You just told me at one point you were working in a hotel. And,
I was, yeah. That's where I got my start in hospitality.
so we got.
Was that your first hospitality job too?
Mm-hmm.
And
we
how
get
did
in
you
the
wind
hotel or
up with this
No.
like, high-end hotel?
Because it ended badly.
No, it ended great.
Oh, great.
It was amazing. It was
How
just.
you gotta start?
It was a lot. It was a lot of work. You know,
Yeah.
it was I was working in the snow, 24/7. You know, so
Florida
like
boy.
snowboarding
Yeah,
and-
what?
it was a mountain town. Yeah.
Oh,
so for sure.
Are you into that too?
Oh, yeah,
Extreme
of
sport?
course.
Really?
I love
Snowboarding,
snowboarding.
skiing?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are all young, man. Dude, I went on one ride at Universal. My eyeball blew out. I'm telling you, getting old. Sean Connery said it. Getting old stinks. But like Steve does that too, right? He snowboards and Selena does all the skiing.
Yeah, they went to Mammoth after Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get another. What you just?
I just bit it off. Yeah.
Oh my God! The youth of today. The youth of today.
You just
All right,
bite it
tell
off.
us about Denver, the hotel, and
The-
what
it-
type of hospitality was it? Like, were you in the kitchen or were you like?
I was running the show. I was running the show, brother.
Nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give it to me. Give it to me how you get there. Give it to me how you get there. Run the show into the luxury automobile industry.
Well, I was selling cars while I was at the hotel.
Okay.
There we go.
Used cars.
At the hotel.
You're a hustler, and we love it.
One or two
Yeah.
at a time. And I saved up. I was there for about 4 years. Saved up, about 300 grand. And I told the owners, I said, hey, I want to fly to LA and go to this auction and buy a Rolls Royce.
How do you know so much about cars? Is your family like? Is your dad a mechanic or something like?
I've
or-
always just wanted a nice car.
Okay, but how do you know about cars? You read about it? Did someone turn
I
you
was
on
just
to it?
always into cars. I was just had such a passion for cars.
So
I
you're
always,
just a grease monkey. The day you're born, you
yeah,
love cars.
exactly.
Do you know how to? You know what you're doing underneath the car? Ish.
Not a mechanic, but
I
can
The people want to know.
I can sell them.
What were you personally driving in Colorado when you went to LA to buy a Rolls Royce?
At that time, prior to the Rolls, I had a Lamborghini.
Okay, so you were
And I
in it.
sold the Lamborghini. I was doing like one or two cars.
Sure.
I was doing one or two cars at a time. And I walked in. I told the owner. I said I need a day off because I was working 7 days a week. Go like this. Tobacco. You got it.
It's all over my. Well, it's because I bit the cigar off, like Ozzy Osbourne biting a hat off.
So I told the owner, I said, listen, I need a day off. I'm going to go buy this Rolls Royce. Because I was watching, there was a Rolls Royce auction coming up. And they said, if you can be back the following day by the night shift meeting, which was like 3:45, because we did a morning meeting and a night meeting for the shift change, you can go. They're
And
like,
what's the drive?
Go ahead. I had to drive a few hours, take a couple flights, make it there, but the drive back was like insane.
How long?
It was brutal.
I mean, how are you driving in the mountains in a Rolls Royce?
It was brutal. So I fly to LA, I go to the auction with every dollar I have.
Where's the auction? Anaheim?
Riverside.
Oh my God, you're out. That's central, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm there. This Rolls Royce comes through, like 310,000 or something like that on the button. I end up buying it.
What year?
It's 2010, 2012 when the Ghost.
But is it a brand new Rolls?
It's a brand new Rolls.
Oh, it's no miles on it, like.
Like 500 miles or something.
Oh my God.
So I bought it from Rolls Royce Financial. So I'm so excited. I'm trying to figure out how to go in and pay for it. I pay for it. I get in the car. Now I have to drive back. So I'm like, I'm an hour in. I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm like, it's that second hour. I'm like, man, this is hitting a little LA traffic. This thing's looking a little brutal. I make it to like Albuquerque. And then I'm like, okay, that was like 7 hours. Then I had like another 3 or 4 more to go. The weather wasn't the best. I made it back. I made it just in time to go back to work.
Oh my God.
So I parked the car. It's filthy. I'm like, let me just suit up in an actual suit and go in here and do this meeting. So I don't tell anyone. I'm just like, boom, I'm at work like nothing happened. I haven't even slept yet. As soon as I got my dinner break, I went to one of those car washes. They didn't have like a mobile detail service. It was like you put the quarters in.
Just hose it.
Yeah, just hose it.
Right through that. Oh
Yeah, and that's how you had to clean it. So I'm like, I'm going to get this thing perfect. I'm going to take some pictures of it in the morning.
What color was it?
Black.
Okay.
Black, white interior.
Nice.
Silver hood. Just in the prettiest car you've ever seen.
Oreo.
Yeah,
Rolls.
insane.
Got it.
So I park in the garage. The next morning, I take the pictures. I put it online. And I was using eBay at the time, which we still use now. And like a day later, a guy calls me. And he's like, hey, man, this is Alex from Beverly Hills Rolls Royce. I was coming to the auction to buy that car for a customer. I already have it sold. I got stuck in traffic.
No way.
Okay. At
was
this
already
point,
sold.
this is what's called,
It was already sold
ladies and
right
gentlemen
now.
who are listening, this is called leverage. RD?
Yeah. So he's like, I've got this car sold. I need it. And I said, well, it's $399 or $400 or something. I told him some crazy number. And he goes, okay, cool. Send me your wire info.
I knew that was
And I'm
coming.
like,
now you feel like you undersold.
I'm like, oh my God, did I undersell this? Could I got more? What did I do wrong? This is insane. So I call my guy who trained me in the hotel business, Mike Adams. And then he, does ladies and gentlemen training, ladies and gentlemen, Ritz-Carlton school, Marriott schools. He's the guy who told me how to run hotels. I said, I think I just made my entire salary on one car.
Yeah. Well, taxes, right?
Yeah, something like that. He goes, well, can you do it again? I said, probably. I think I can. He goes, well, if you can, you should. If you like doing it and you're good at it, then we might have to look at having you do that. So I go to the bank across the street and I said, hey, I need my wire info. They said, oh, son, you're being scammed. I said, no, I bought a Rolls Royce. They said, oh, yeah, no, stop. They said, just get out of here. It was a very small bank called.
Oh, okay. It was a small
A
bank?
very, very small bank. They said, no, no one's buying it. You don't have a Rolls Royce. Like, they didn't believe anything I was saying. I said, well, I need the account number and the routing number and your address. I got to give it to someone. They're going to send me some money. Can you give me that? They said, yeah, son, but be careful. So I called the guy back. He sends me an email from Beverly Hills Rolls Royce. He was the GM at the time.
It's all making sense to me.
Yeah, it's all making sense. But it's a small town. One stoplight. That's it.
That's where Paul's from.
So
Utah, one stoplight.
one stoplight. So they give me the wire info. I give it to the guy. He goes, check your account. I hang up the phone. It's in the entire price.
What is that feeling like?
I just went
Bonkers.
I went upstairs. I said, I'm hiring a new manager. I quit.
That's right.
I love
That's
it.
it. I'm going to train someone to do my job, but I'm out of here. They're like,
So then Beverly Hills sent a tow.
yeah, they sent up, which it was in the middle of nowhere, which was impossible to find someone to pick this Rolls Royce up because it was in the mountain town. So no one wanted to take a big rig, so they had to send a flatbed, and so that whole mission was insane.
But that wasn't your problem. They had
Wasn't my problem.
right?
Was that the most amount of money that had been in your bank account at that point?
And how old are
On
you?
one deal, yeah.
And how old are you?
In my 20s.
Oh my God, you imagine?
So
No, I
Half a
can't.
million?
so I had this plan, and some people gave me some money to make sure I could put it together, plus the money I saved because I wasn't doing anything in a one stoplight town.
Right.
There was no restaurants or
I love it.
there wasn't
Sounds
any
like a killer song.
yeah, there wasn't any nightlife or anything. So I'm like I'm praying to God like, oh man, I think I got it figured out. And so boom, I go in, I tell him I got a new manager. I'm gonna train him. This guy ran hotels for years. I train him. I show him how everything works. I put all my clothes in the car, and I go to Scottsdale.
In what car?
Just a different car that I had, an SUV.
Okay, you had
And I was like,
another
I'm out. I just wanted to go to the nearest, warmest place I could find.
Yeah, you're done with the cold.
I'm done with the cold.
And then you could find trouble in Scottsdale.
All right, we have to retract this for a second. How many hours is that drive from Riverside to
It
Colorado?
was brutal. I think it was, to Colorado. And
It's like 2.5 days.
it was bad.
I mean, can a Rolls
I think-
tire like that? Can even
No, it
go?
was
Yeah.
fine.
But
It
in
was
a
fine.
Rolls Royce, that's the smoothest ride.
It
you
was
can
smooth,
ask
but
for.
I was tired because I was already so worked up from doing the deal. And I was like, man, I just want to get back in one
Yeah.
piece. I don't want to lose my job in case this doesn't work out. I need to be there for the meeting.
Right.
So I need to, step on it. But I made it. And oh, by the way, the elk that you see on the way there on the road are the size of that G-Wagon.
Oh my God.
And they just stand in the road.
Yeah, and you're going, oh God.
I'm
no
going,
cross, no
like,
cross.
please, like
Dude, imagine you wreck the Rolls and you
and hit an elk.
Oh, sorry.
That happened
Hey,
recently.
Captain Negative.
Yeah.
No, that'd be crazy. I'm just saying that'd be crazy. Sorry.
Seriously.
Yeah, I was going down the road. There's little 2-lane roads like in between like New Mexico and Colorado, and there's a teepee, and you turn right where the teepee is, and that stretch getting to the resort is full of elk, and they're so big and bad they just stand right in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Ironically enough, my brother Matt and I, when we were super broke in LA, the guy that hired me for my first job when I was answering phones out here flew, family friend, I'll just say his name, Tom Breslin, flies us to Colorado, and we had to drive his stick shift Saab back to LA. So
was
he
my
paid
brother,
us
Saab.
instead of,
Transport.
right, instant transport. But guess who can't drive a stick? You're looking at. So
How
my
was
bro-
that?
Well, so my brother Matt goes, dude, if we're splitting this, you got to drive too.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, well, get on the open road. And we would literally switch seats.
Once it was going
Cooking.
80.
I never shifted that thing one time, dog. And so I know it's a nasty drive.
It's a nasty drive. But I made it there in one piece, and I knew I just wanted to get to where it was warmer. And
so now you're in Arizona.
And now I'm in Arizona, so I have my money together, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. I need to find a location. So my friend is like, you know what? I'm gonna give you. I have an airplane hangar. You can use my airplane hangar and get a license and hang it there. It'll get approved. He's like, because I had a license, just for tax purposes, and this is an easy setup for you. I'm not gonna charge you anything. Take care of me when you get going.
That's awesome.
So he comes back, and I have the whole thing like filled with cars. Not these types of cars, but other types of cars. He's like, man, dude, this is not it. This is like, I can't get in and out of here. What do you want me to do? This is like, this was the founder of Levitt's Furniture. And he goes, I can't move my plane. It's just like, you got cars everywhere, people coming in and out. He's like, you need a bigger place.
But what type of cars? All luxury or just
Luxury, but not like Bugattis.
Not crazy.
Right.
But,
Lamborghinis?
Yeah,
and stuff.
couple-
So you went to Phoenix and got right into, I'm not messing around with any cars unless they're luxuries.
high end. So I got my license.
Okay.
I hung it at my friend's hangar. He comes in. He's like, he's the best. John, I love him. He's the greatest. And you got a little bit of ash.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just let it sit. Go on. I don't.
Maybe
I
just
digress. I don't want to ruin the thing.
maybe just flick,
You ready?
pop
Give
it
me
off.
what's
Yeah,
up.
it's fine.
Well, there we
It's
go.
all right.
Happy New Year! Congratulations. What sale are we having? Wait, National Women's History Month here. Wires Only. No, anyway.
Gotta love the women. They're important.
Yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I
They,
look at the
they
door.
keep us going. It's a little ash. It's fine.
It's fine.
So he says, you got to get a bigger place. Like, your time's up here in a nice way. So I'm looking around, I'm driving around all these hangars, and I'm like, man, I want to be in a hangar. One day I'm in the back of a hangar, and you could see like the taxiway, and I'm just parked in my car, and I'm like, man, I got to get one of these hangars. I see a Gulfstream pull up. And I've never really seen a Gulfstream.
Private jet, right?
Yeah,
How many people though?
Like
That's a big one.
14 passenger.
Okay.
Bad boy, you know. I've never
That's
really
like the cream of the crop. Of
I've never seen one in person, but
Yeah.
where these hangars are in Scottsdale, you're on live taxiways. So you can see the planes pulling into the hangars that are all privately owned. My jaw drops. I'm like, oh, Escalades, Suburbans, Range Rovers, cars, just Rolls Royces, everything's just pulling up. The door opens. All these people get out. I'm like, I need to be with these people.
Who's in the Gulfstream?
Whoever is in the Gulfstream, I need to meet them. Now, on the other side of their plane, they had 3 hangars. They kept their plane in the middle. The other 2 planes, the other 2 hangars were for lease. So I seen this guy. He has a huge long red beard. His name's Rob. You can't miss him. Shout out to Rob. And I said, Rob, I go right up to him. I said, listen, I'm the biggest car guy in the world. You know, I'm selling Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces. Meanwhile, I only had a couple of these, but I said, we got to work.
You gotta hype it up.
Yeah, we got.
Sales guy.
Fake
You
it
got-
till you
fine.
make
I said, we
it.
got to work
You got
something
these
out.
cigars. You're telling me.
Yeah, I said, hey,
I
come
like
on.
it. Go to the Ring
Hey,
Spirit. It's
let's go.
working for you.
He's the man. I said, I got to be in one of these hangars. He said, no, absolutely not. He said, the reason we have these hangars, they're for lease. You have a plane? I said, no, not yet, but I will. He said, well, you see that thing in the ground? That's a fuel farm. That fuel farm is for your plane that you're going to keep in the hangar, and you're going to buy fuel from us, and that's going to pay for the rent on top of your rent that we're going to charge you for the plane, okay? That's how hangars work. Have a nice day. And I'm like, okay.
But you just defined it to me like you figured it out.
I figured it out. So I said, okay, let me get back to you. He's like, there's no way you're putting cars in here. These are for airplanes. Like, see you. He doesn't realize it. I see him everywhere now. Everywhere. I'm like, hey, man, remember the cars? Like, I don't have the plane yet. I said, what if I told you, you and your friend, that whoever owns the plane, he goes, that's my boss. And I said, what if I told you and your boss, you could come in and take a Ferrari whenever you want? He goes, me too? I said, yes, you too. He goes,
Hold on.
He goes,
This is
Here
a
we go.
greasy deal. Let me get rid of the ash here.
He
Let me
goes-
sit up straight here. That's a big ballsy move.
he goes, you're telling me that I can come in and take a Ferrari whenever I want? I said, absolutely. I mean, on the weekends. And then your boss can do the same.
Right.
I said, you go tell him that. Sickest cars you've ever seen. He goes, I will. I'll get right back to you. Calls me a day later. He goes, yo, I ran this by the boss, and I think, you know, the guy's a billionaire. He goes, I think we can work something out. The guy happens to love cars. He goes, let's do a deal in the hangars. I'm like, okay, perfect. Let's write it up. I want a 5-year guarantee. I want a 5-year lease, 5-year option, personal guarantee. You know, I didn't really have any credit at this time.
What's a lease amount look like?
It was
for something like that?
nasty. It was like 50 G's a month. It was insane.
What?
It was
Sounds like my horse habit.
it was it was like the horse habit. But I said, maybe you can discount that a little bit. We'll swap out some car trades. You know, I think I got it down to, 40 or whatever it was.
Is this your only job at that time too?
Yes, it's my only job.
Okay.
So
Because you got $400,000 in the bank.
But
Let's get a buy.
I got it.
But
I had to get the
you're bringing
license.
cars
I had to
in.
get the
Yeah.
bond.
So that
I
money's
had
going fast.
I had to get a place to
Yeah.
live.
Okay.
So I'm running it and with a little bit of inventory.
Yeah.
And so my uncle says, "Oh man," he goes, "That place is sick."
What's your uncle's name?
Bill Whittington.
Uncle Tim?
Not Uncle Tim.
Sorry, I
But
digress.
he's like you though. It's very
That's
similar.
it. As
Very
always,
similar.
Everyone's got an uncle.
He's very similar.
Where's Uncle Bill?
Bill was the greatest. So he says, you know what? He goes, get the place. Personal guarantee it. Sign it up. He goes, I'll split it with you. I'll put some of my cars in there. You put yours. It's a great deal. I said, well, it's a 5-year deal. A personal guarantee. I got to give them first, last security and a bigger deposit because I had no credit. He goes, yeah, great.
I like
Do
Bill.
it. He goes, this on. He goes, man. He goes, this is on the tarmac runway. He's like, I can see it now. This is perfect. I love Bill. God rest him. So he says, do the deal. So I do the deal. I give these guys every dollar I have, everything. I mean, I'm out at this point. Give me the keys. I get the sign. I put the desk together. I'm like, the first is coming around. I'm like, hey, the following month, here's your half. Here's my half. He said, what half?
No.
So what are you talking about? I said, the hangar. Remember you told me to lease it. We're going to split it. He said, I'm out. He says, I'm not doing that. Hangs up.
Wait, we talking about Uncle Bill?
Uncle Bill says, he says,
Same Uncle Bill.
Same Uncle Bill says, I'm out. He goes, I'm not doing this deal. I guess I caught him on a bad day. He goes, I'm out. He goes, I'm not doing that deal. He goes, you're on your own. He goes, I didn't sign nothing. He said, I'm not doing that deal.
First business
Yeah.
lesson here.
So I'm like, man, I'm in my office. I'm trying to figure it out. And I was going to this little restaurant, the Chop Shop, and they would give me credit or whatever, and they work with me. It was very good food. It was an amazing place. And so I became friendly with the owner. And so I'll go back to work. I'm eating my little, lunch that I got from there, and I'm devastated. I'm calling everyone I know. I need to sell some cars. I can consign your cars. We can put your cars in here for storage. You have a plane. You can park it here. I'm trying to figure it out because the next month I didn't have enough money to make it.
Yeah,
Right,
of course.
right.
I'm not going to
catastrophic.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to float the nut. Like the next week, and this guy is the guy that owns the restaurant is insane.
This is still in Arizona.
It's still in Scottsdale.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
I see 4 Suburbans pull up. It's the guy that owns the restaurant. He's a million miles an hour. I said, man, please, not right now. He's, oh man, this place is great. You can put plate. I said, he's like, I got these people here. I said, just take them in the back, man. Like, he's like, you seem stressed. I said, yeah, I am. I said, I am. I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. He goes, you seem completely stressed out, man. You okay? I'm like, dude, please, just go in the back. Like 20 people go in the back. Lady comes, knocks on my door. She's like, hey, I'm so-and-so from Maxim. I'm like, yeah, it's a cool magazine, but like, I don't want, what do you want from me? She goes, Super Bowl's coming to town. I'm doing the Maxim magazine party. I flew in from New York. I'm doing the Hot 100 party we do every year for Super Bowl. They just did it this year in Phoenix again. And she goes,
and now I was
Wait,
there.
what year
Yeah.
is this?
I
The
was
Super
there,
Bowl in
yeah.
Arizona?
this was not last time, but the last time
Last
it was
time
there.
before.
What was it,
Yeah.
2010, you say, or 11? Who do you remember the teams?
15, 16 maybe.
It's
when
gotta been before that.
The 49ers played the.
Was
someone-
that-
It wasn't that first time it was in Scottsdale. It was the second time before this last
before
one.
this last one,
Yeah.
right?
So maybe,
when the power went out? That one?
yeah, I think maybe like
Was it the Harbaugh Bowl? Baltimore and the Niners with Jim and John Harbaugh?
I think it was Niners and somebody. I think so.
Producer LJ.
But anyway.
I don't remember, but she goes, I'm looking for a venue to do the Maxim magazine party.
And you got the hanger.
I jump out of my chair. Hi, how are you? I got my plane in the middle. I got the hangars here. I got the hangars there. I can clear them all out. She said, oh, really? She goes, we just looked at Talking Stick Casino. We're probably going to do it there, but we kind of like this. I said, forget Talking Stick Casino. I'm your boots on the ground. I'll do all your sponsorships. I can clear these cars out. I'll do whatever you want. I said, what's the budget? She's like, oh, it's about $500K or something like that.
So
And
I'm
you're
your
like, I
guy.
need this.
I'm your guy.
Yeah.
I said, what? She said, it's $500,000. You get a few tables. You can sell them. Any sponsorships you bring in, you get 10%. I said, I'm your guy. She said, but I noticed there's planes pulling down the taxiway behind the hangars. Are you sure you can get the taxiway closed down? And I said, absolutely. For sure. My friends at the FAA, no problem. She goes, if you can close down the taxiway, pretty sure I'm going to give you this party.
Wow, dude.
So now I'm like, okay, I can live to fight another day. So now where the 3 hangars are, the live taxiway, they want me to shut down Saturday night before the Super Bowl
Not
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah,
in
right.
Scottsdale. And I told her it's not a problem. I called Oklahoma to the FAA and they're laughing. They're like, what? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I said, there's got to be a way. It's Maxim Magazine, Super Bowl. This is a big deal. They said, good luck. You need to get every single aircraft owner with a tail number on that taxiway to sign a petition allowing you to close the taxiway from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Saturday night before the Super Bowl. If you can do that, you submit it to the FAA, and if we approve it, we approve it, but good luck. So now I'm going to, these guys are big guys. Sun State Equipment, this company, that company. Hey, it's me from Hangar 5. I'm doing a Maxim Magazine Super Bowl party.
You want some passes? You can come in.
Yeah. You want some passes? Absolutely, I want some passes. I said, well, I need you to sign here. Are you going to be here? Is your plane coming in or out? No, we'll keep the plane here. I said, we'll sign here to approve the use of the taxiway. and
Just
then
get
you
in
could
by
come and
Saturday,
you'll be on the guest list. You'll be my guest.
Dude, this is great because they're getting tables anyway. So now it's kind of coming together.
Are you
for
name dropping too at this point?
Absolutely.
Like, this person's gonna be
Jamie
here.
Foxx,
Yeah.
Justin Bieber, Ludacris,
Yeah.
whoever I could think of. They did bring all of these people and buses and all of this stuff. The party every year is insane. I'm sure you guys have seen.
How many
been.
signatures did you have to get?
Oh, probably like 40.
It's fucking
Wow.
And then I had to submit it to the Air Park Association, get their approval, and send it to the FAA. I get
And
it.
how much time in advance?
No, this was
When's the
like
Super Bowl?
this was like probably 90 days out.
Okay.
But the 40 people,
But they're trying to book. They're trying to book
Right.
the venue now. The 40 people all own or have something to do with aviation in the air park, and they all have to say yes.
that's crazy.
I get the signatures.
That's crazy, dude.
They are so starstruck about coming to the party. Maybe ash that just so it doesn't.
Blow up on my
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
It's who, Patriots Seahawks.
Yeah, oh, no firecrackers.
Was that a Patriot? Wait, which one?
But-
So 2015. It
Yeah.
was 2015.
Yeah,
Patriots,
that's exactly
Seahawks.
what it is.
Yep.
So I get the signatures. I give them
Damn
to the lady
Modella.
in Maxim. I fax her or email her the permit, whatever it is. I said, great news. It's approved. And now I'm out. I have, $500, $600 left. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. She goes, we're going with Talking Stick Casino.
You gotta be kidding me.
I said, what? She goes, yeah, it has hotel rooms. We're looking for a place with hotel rooms. I said, I just spent my last dollar in life on this. She goes, I'm sorry.
What?
She goes, there's nothing I can do. Back then, I think it was a cab. I don't think it was an Uber. I had someone take me to the airport. I bought a one-way ticket to New York. I think I had $600 left. So I'm like, I've got to look it up. I find their office. I'm like, I'm going there. So I leave Scottsdale. I fly to New York. Madison and 5th is where their office is. I get to security. I'm banging on. They're like, you can't come up. Who is this guy? It's New York building security.
Yeah,
It's tough.
You gotta have passes.
They're like, you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
just like,
I
can
mean,
I have
Maxim's Condé Nast too. I think, right?
Yeah, it was tough.
Something,
It was
yeah.
tough. And finally, I tell the guy, I said, listen, I'm doing the Super Bowl party. You got to let me up. Da da da. The guy's looking at
He's
me
like, yeah,
like,
sure.
yeah, like, please go back to your cab. They let me up. I walk in the office. I'm like, guys, it's me from Scottsdale. The lady's like, oh my God. She's like, oh my God, the guy from Scottsdale's here in New York at our office.
This is an incredible. This could
They
be
don't-
a movie.
They don't know whether to escort me out or to let me in.
100%. Because
they're
who
like,
knows what you're gonna do?
What do we do here with
Yeah.
this guy? I'm like, hey guys. We go in. I'm like, man, we need to talk. I sit everyone down in the conference room. All the people I worked with, it was like 10 or 15 people that were in charge of doing events.
So they know you.
Yeah, because they've been out like 24, 30 times to the site, and like to work to this point, it was
get the zoning. I got you.
just
All right.
to figure out the layout and this and that, and they pulled it last minute. And I said, guys, I have a one-way ticket. I can't get a hotel. I can't even buy dinner tonight. I said, I don't need this party because it's cool and because it's fun. I don't know if Talking Stick's going to bring in the sponsors. I don't know if they're going to pick up your people from the airport. I don't know if they're going to handle everything from A to Z, but that's what I personally did with this permit, and that's what I'll personally do for this party. I need you to give me this party. My life depends on it. I knew if I got the party, not only would I stay in the game, but I would meet the people that I needed to meet.
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew that. That's really what I wanted
Right.
also, but to stay in the game, but to meet these people.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God.
And you already have the hospitality angle of like picking them up. And doing the
I'm
whole
thinking
thing.
she's
Yeah.
gonna call security. She hits like the button on the phone on the thing. I'm like, okay, that's it. I gave it a shot at least.
Yeah.
She calls the owner. She tells the owner the story, and he goes, "What? He's there in the office in New York on a one-way ticket?" This guy owned Steak and Shake. If you know the
Yeah.
burger place, this guy owned a lot of stuff. Maxim was like his hobby. He goes, "Are you kidding me?" They go, he's here right now.
He can hear you, sir.
Yeah, sorry, he's in the conference room.
Can I cast this movie?
He said, "Give him the party. What are you waiting on?
Wow.
Give it to him on the
That's awesome.
spot."
Did you know that owner? This is all.
No, I
This guy
hadn't.
just has your back.
He just loved the story.
It's a great
Yeah.
story. I love the story. I didn't know the story.
Yeah,
Tim's writing the script right now.
Yeah, he loved the fact that I flew there and I
was
put
gonna
it all
ask
on the line. And he goes, you know what? Pauses for a minute, and I'm thinking, okay. He goes, give him the party. Not only that, give him a check now, get him a hotel, take him to dinner. He's going to be your guy. He just did all
That's
of this.
awesome.
He's going to be your go-to guy for everything.
It's the best story ever.
I don't want to deal with some hotel where I can't find the contact person to handle everything I want personally. This guy personally flew here.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
Dude.
So they gave me the party.
Nice.
So now,
Oh my God, this is unreal.
now the cars that I do have, I turned them into a transportation service. Any friends that I did have, they became drivers. I got Dodge to sponsor the party. We were drag racing the new Dodges up and down the taxiway.
Sick.
We got Dos Equis. We got Johnny Walker Blue. We got.
How did you get all the contacts for this?
I just started calling
a
everyone.
caller. You're just
Hey, I got the
hustling.
Maxim party.
Yeah,
Who wants to
yeah.
be?
Which
That's
is
true.
kind of a big
Yeah.
name
Yeah,
drop.
that's true.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
Back at this. Two things: Maxim, Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Whoever picking up the phone
Who's
is
performing
listening.
at that
Airport
one?
runway.
Airport.
Yeah.
I got the taxiway
I'll
closed
pick you up at
down.
the airport.
I got a Dos Equis hot air balloon. I got the steak and shake truck. I got hundreds of Maxim models to come. Obviously, it's for Maxim. It's the Maxim Hot 100 party. And I have the biggest celebrity performances you can ever think of. They were like, here, take my money.
Yeah.
Where do I got Dodge,
Which is huge.
which was big for me because I said, what are we going to do? I said, you're going to take celebrities in the cars up and down the taxiway.
That's sick.
They said, great, where do we sign? So we cleared out all, not only my hangar, because then we ran out of space. I got the additional hangars from all of our friends that had hangars in the area.
About 100 people, 120.
Oh man, no, it was the thousands of people. This was insane.
So then now you're not only
Tal-
running the show, you're making the Maxim party bigger. You're expanding it.
I'm thinking this is my shot.
How is Maxim not hiring you? At this
Maxim,
point? Like,
they
like-
did. They took me to San Francisco the year after, and they wanted me to run the San Francisco one for them. But I was like, San Francisco was just like a lot. I was like,
Yeah,
this
that's
is too much.
Logistic nightmare.
It was a logistic nightmare with the permits and stuff. So,
That's Super Bowl in general.
but I go back to figuring out the sponsorships. So now they say, here, we'll give you a couple tables, you can sell them. I'm like, well, how much are the tables? Oh, I don't know. Verizon paid 100K. This guy paid 50K. These, big companies. This is who has the tables. You're next to, JP Morgan. I'm like, shoot, let me
Two strikes. I had one too.
yeah.
Don't worry.
I said,
It's a riveting
I
story.
said-
We got a couple baby burps.
I'm calling all my friends. Hey, you want a table at the Maxim party? And he's like, yeah, I got some guys that want the table. So I sold the tables. I got the sponsorships. I'm meeting with security the night of, the party. They're like, this is the venue, the guy that owns the venue. I'm like, yeah, I mean, kind of, I lease it, but they're like, you're a point of contact, right, son? I'm like, yes, sir. Right. Okay. We're going to call you for the issue. This guy's going to be here. This guy's going to be there.
my God.
We're going to bring the people in through here. So we had the stages, the runway, the tables, the Dos Equis hot air balloon, Dodge cars going back and forth, the steak and shake truck. I mean, it was insane.
And you're meeting everyone.
I'm handling it all.
Yeah.
How many phones do you have?
At that point, probably just one. Now I have two.
But it's just zinging. The phone is just zinging all day long. Zinging. Just going off nonstop.
So they make my office the green room. And they're like, this is where we're going to keep the talent.
There we go.
Okay.
Yep.
You control this. Someone has an issue, they're going to call you. I walk back. It's Jamie Foxx, Justin Bieber, Lil Wayne, this guy, that guy. And all of a sudden I become the guy. Oh, yeah, I need to pick up my cousin from the airport. French is there. Okay, can you get me a bottle of champagne? Oh, by the way, my girlfriend's at the front. Can you bring her around back? I'm like, sure. I get a call from an English guy. He's like, hey, how are you? I got Sir Paul McCartney here. He's out back.
no
Stop it.
way.
I hung
bro.
up the phone. No, I hung up. I was like, bro, please stop playing on my phone. I'm very busy. The head of security, Fred, GSG, who's one of my best friends to this day, who I met at this party, calls me. He says, hey, it's Fred. I said, yeah, what's up, Fred? He goes, Paul McCartney's out back. I go out back. I go out back. There's 7 Suburbans with NFL stickers on the side. I said, where is he? He's like, his son wants a table. I said, you show me Paul McCartney right now, you can have this whole entire airplane hangar. Stop. I don't have time for it. He rolls down the window. He says, why are you being so unprofessional? I said, oh,
Paul McCartney said that? to you?
yes. I said, oh my goodness, sir. I'm so sorry. I didn't think you were here. He goes, well, I am. He said, you should be more professional. I said, yes, sir. Which table would you like? He says, he goes, who's playing? He says, it was a funny thing. He was like, who's playing at this thing? Or who's the talent here tonight? What band is it? I said, it's Ludacris. And he goes, who? I said, Ludacris. So I got Ludacris to come out and they took a picture. And you can find this picture together in the back office. And Paul McCartney gets out. I'm dealing with his head of security. We walk in, we give him his son a table. and it was one after another, direct cell phones.
Wow.
All right. Why was your party the hypest party? Because now it sounds like the word on the street is you got to get to this hangar.
Yeah, you got to
Like
get.
if you're
it's
showing
maximum.
the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
it just spread.
Well, that was kind of the heyday of the Maxim party too.
This was at the
first
peak
all.
of Maxim.
Yes.
And so
And they'd probably never done it.
their
at an
parties
airplane
are
hangar.
still incredible to this day. They do them every year. This was like,
Same owner still? The same?
I'm not sure if it's the same
This
owner.
last year I was there. It was at an airplane hangar. I'm not sure if it was
Yeah,
the same one you had.
probably
but-
probably similar. A lot
Yeah.
of them were, Drake's was. And
What did Paul McCartney say to you again?
he said, "Why are you being so
You got to
unprofessional?"
give me the Liverpool accent. Come
Come
on. You heard it.
Excuse me. Perhaps why are you being so unprofessional? And I thought, oh my God, that's Paul McCartney right there. This is insane. I wanted to call my mom and tell her. I'm like, this guy. I said, I just needed to see you, sir. I didn't believe you were here. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm
now,
here. Hold on.
yeah.
Boy,
he
you be a
said-
little bit more professional,
That's
son.
exactly what he said. I said, sir, forgive me. You got it. This place is yours. I said, pick a table, whatever you want. Then I had to tell Maxim, Paul McCartney was here, and they're like, yeah, right. No, I said, no, he's here. He's standing right next to me.
Yeah, I saw him.
Trust me.
I saw that left-handed bass player.
Yeah, he's standing right next to me. So we walk him in through the back of the house, get him and his son situated, and we, have Jamie and, anyone you could think of now is not going to come through the front. So it's the artist entry is through my office. But I was keeping the door locked.
That's still dope, though, right?
Yeah, so they're like, whoever you can think of is here and they're at your back door. Go let them in. So I'm letting, everybody, and I've got every manager, everybody's phone number you could possibly imagine. And it's not just, handle the party. It's like, this is the guy in Scottsdale. I need this. I need that.
RD's running the show.
I'm whatever you say, sir. I got you. I have all my brother and cousin, whoever I could have helping me. I had them running like crazy. Party goes off. It's insane. Insane. People, some of these guys needed a place to stay. They stayed at my house. It was nuts. So now, I'm still able to be in the game, and the party goes off incredible. They have an amazing time.
Your
And
cred's through the roof.
creds to the roof. Now I got people are calling me like, hey man, whenever you come to LA, thanks for taking care of my guy. Let's go to lunch. I'll treat you. I hadn't even been to LA at this time other than Riverside.
That is not LA.
That's not LA.
That might as well be Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't even know what any of this is about. So Jamie's people call me too, and Jamie's like, man, everything you guys were top notch. Why don't you come out when you come to LA? Why don't you stop by my house? Just want to thank you. I appreciate the hospitality. We'll grab a bite or something. So I'm like, okay, cool. But he's like, I'm doing a show in Vegas. He's like, let's, you come to Vegas and see the show, and I want to return the favor. So we go to Vegas.
Was this in August?
It was when the SLS
I
opened.
was there.
right after.
I was there.
Oh my
and,
God.
and Jamie hosted.
Yes.
Is this name drop a groupie
Yeah.
drop? She's like, I was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
what it was
Maxim
fun.
thing.
I mean, okay, I've been in LA for 8 years.
We go to the party. We get into a huge brawl afterwards. It was insane.
Wait, a brawl?
Yeah, we get into a brawl because they
But
came
against each other? Or?
No, together. I was their guest, and the guy came out and he did some extra performances. And the guy said, "Hey, host the after party," and he had some poker chips, and he gave them to me. And he's like, "Yeah, this is for the after party." He goes, "They're promo chips." I don't even know Fox. This is my first time
This is
really
crazy.
hanging out with them. I said, "Well, sir, they gave me these chips." He's like, "What do you want me to do with these?" They said, "I don't know. You got to play them."
Yeah, the promo chips are this.
Oh, yeah,
Let
what
me
is
tell the
that?
audience. If you get a promo chip, say it's $1,000, and you risk $1,000 and lose, you lose the promo chip. If you win $1,000, they take the promo chip and give you a real $1,000.
So is that
Right.
just to get you gambling?
It's just it's an incentive for you
So
to be
then it
where you're at.
looks like, oh, Jamie Foxx is playing in our casino? Or?
They were-
But sure, but it's instead of giving them cash, it's giving the casino a chance to
Take more of your money.
some of it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Got
I'm
it.
with you. So I know promo. Hey, I know promo chips.
yeah.
If anyone
put 'em
knows
on my burgers.
If anyone knows promo chips, it's you. Being around casinos and Steve and gambling.
Oh yeah.
So he says, what do you want me to do with these? But they were trying to pay him for the after party with the chips. And I'm like, this is gonna be. And this, I'm not talking like 20 grand here.
Right.
I'm talking like big number.
Yeah.
North of 100.
That's not gonna. Yeah, it's not fair.
It's not fair. So I said, let me sort it. I can figure this out. So I run in with the chips. I say, hey, probably misunderstanding, guys. We can't take these chips. Like, give me the cash so I can give it to this guy and get him out of here. The guy says, no, you got to take these. I said, this is not going to go well. I'm just letting you know now.
Can I ask the casino, or are you not allowed to say?
Yeah,
we'll probably
leave that off.
Okay. Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Hard Rock.
No.
Damn.
Cosmopolitan.
But close. So I go back and I said, we can't gamble with this. This is a fee. Like, this is not a joke. And the guy's like, oh, you're just going to have to take these chips. And I'm thinking, this is not going to be pretty. So it was like the promoters and then us, and it was just a huge brawl. Humongous brawl.
Fisticuffs. It went down.
It went down.
Like gangs of New York.
Real live, like, brawl.
Where in the casino? Are you like behind the scenes or?
Yeah, we're out on a patio of the venue that we did the event at.
So
so I'm like,
cameras are rolling too.
oh yeah, everybody's rolling. Everyone's
PMZ's there.
Yeah.
it gets crazy. It gets crazy. So we're trying to get the people out of the casino jail because they have the jail inside the casino.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to
You're
get.
using promo chips to get people out of
I'm
jail.
trying to.
Promo chicks to get out of bail.
I'm trying. I'm the only one that didn't get arrested. So I'm like, and Jamie and some of our guys they grabbed. So I'm like, oh man, this is getting crazy. So I'm like, look, man, this is what happened. Can you help us out? Like, please. So now I'm getting all the guys out of the casino jail, and I'm just like, hey, let's just call it good. We'll deal with this on Monday or something. Let's just let these guys out. So get everybody out. Get Jamie on the plane. He calls me. He's like, man, he's like, I'm sorry. We usually don't roll like that. I'm so embarrassed. He's like, this was nuts. He goes, but what do you want me to do? He goes, come back out to the house. He goes, matter of fact, he goes, let's do I want to do a car commercial for your car company. I'm like, oh man. He's like, I'm completely sorry. So I go out to the house. I'm waiting all day. I don't want to ask him, but
Let me interject real quickly. Jamie Foxx is notorious for having phenomenal parties and incredible artists at his house.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, Ed Sheeran, before Ed Sheeran broke, was a guest
Really?
at Jamie
Jamie's
Foxx's
house.
living on the couch. So
No way.
That's not just like, hey, come to my house. This
Studio.
is Hollywood royalty, studio,
Yeah.
great musicians. Because Jamie Foxx is a great musician.
Yeah.
100%. And he knows how to find people, and he's very good at seeing talents and people. And he helped discover Ed Sheeran. He took Ed Sheeran to
didn't know
play
that.
in a club here in LA.
Who was the super producer that he couldn't believe how Ed Sheeran was so good? His name is escaping me. He's like one of the biggest record executives of all time.
Clive
Oh,
Davis?
God. Yeah, Clive Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he couldn't believe. Jamie Foxx said, "You just wait until this redheaded son of a gun comes out,
And
and,
he did.
you will know."
and he
how
was
good-"
he was sleeping at Jamie's house.
Yeah, I know.
Like on the couch in the studio, and they were
wild.
like, they're still very close. He was like, come out to the house, I'll shoot a car. Let's shoot some. What do you do? Because they were trying to figure out what I did.
Who are
like,
you?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
They're like, so he's like, well, I'll never forget. We're sitting in his garage. He's telling me the funniest stories ever. I was there all day. He's like, what do you do exactly anyways?
Did he show you his Academy Award? I know he did.
No, yeah, but there's a wall like this in the house with every award you could ever
That is a
win.
lot.
Did he have an Academy Award at that point? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
for Ray.
yeah.
Yeah. He just won another one.
Yeah.
And most talented, humble, best friend guy you could ever meet.
He's like your day one then.
He goes, what do you do? Like, what did you work at the party exactly? Or like, is that your office? Or like, what do you guys do? What do you into planes or cars? Or I'm just trying to figure this out. I said, no, I sell cars. He goes, really? He goes, man, I love cars. He's like, I got a Rolls Royce, a Lambo, this, that. He goes, I'm from Texas. It's not a huge car place, from a small town, but I love cars. He goes, I could introduce you to some people that like cars. I'm thinking to myself, amazing. And he's like, let's do a car commercial. So he had a Rolls Royce, big, beautiful, custom Rolls Royce. We help deck out. And he goes, let's shoot a commercial in front of this car. So I'm there. I'm like, oh man, this is amazing. He's going to be like, yo, this is Jamie Foxx. Check out my car. I got it from my boy RD. We go outside and I was there all day long, but we were just getting to know each other. So I didn't want to ask like, hey, when are we going to do this beat on the car? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just blessed to be here.
I have to say that there is nobody on earth I've ever met that can read a room like you moving forward.
He goes, hey, it's nighttime now. He goes, and I was there since the morning. He goes, hey, you want to shoot that car beat? I said, absolutely. We go outside to shoot it. And a guy comes up. And he goes, oh, man, Jamie, Jamie, can I grab some water? I'm thinking, okay, this is one of the guys from the property. He has a 40-acre house, horses and avocado farms. And, I mean, most insane property you ever seen. He says, yeah, hold on. He said, already hold them right there. And I'm talking to the guy, hey, what's up, bro? How long you been with Fox? Like, it's sick, right? Being at the house, Jamie comes back, 12 gauge. Let's get him. I'm like, oh my God. We're chasing, because it's Jamie's kids were inside. And it was a crazy guy that jumped the fence and snuck onto the property.
Oh my God.
So now
this is bonkers.
We're chasing this guy
a Quentin Tarantino movie
down the driveway. My second time hanging out. We're chasing this guy down the driveway of his house because we didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know he was a crazed lunatic that climbed the fence. And Jamie's had his whole family inside, kids and everything. He's like, we gotta stop this guy.
This is some real Texas stuff.
No, he had the gun. No. And he quietly went inside, didn't say a word, and he came out and he said, shh, we got to get him. I'm thinking, where's the guy's water? Like, what happened? Is he fired? He goes, no, we got to, and the guy takes off running. So the guy got out of like a mental hospital and the cops came and he ended up getting detained. Oh my God. And that was our third time hanging out. And everyone was like, oh man, what's up with your boy? He does a car. He said, we've already been through it all. This guy is good to go. Don't even ask him anything. So I said, he said, I am so sorry. This is not how we usually get. He's like,
really?
It's 2 strikes, Jamie.
2 strikes, Jamie.
We go, this is not how we usually get down. I'm sorry. That was a little crazy. So we were in a few crazy times, like in our first times hanging out. And he's like, I was like, I sell cars. If there's anyone that wants a car, let me know. He's like, oh man. He calls Chris Brown. Chris Brown's coming to Phoenix. And Chris is a huge car guy. He's like, oh man, you gotta meet my boy Chris, CB. He lives right down the street, loves cars. He's like, he's coming to Scottsdale. So this was when he was on this big, crazy, sold out tours. He's like, here, this is his guy, meet his guy, and you go meet him, and he's gonna buy some cars. So I go in. I've never been backstage, anything other than Maxim. They give me the credential. I walk into the dressing room. He's like, what's up, bro? You the car guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm the car guy.
Yep.
And he starts firing off ideas. I want the craziest lifted Jeeps you could imagine. He's like, I like to have 3 Lambos at one time. I want the lights underneath. I want the body kits on this. I'm saying, yes, sir, no problem, right away. The new Bentley truck, I got to get that ordered. Also, I want the convertible Rolls Royce before anyone else has it. And he just starts firing off like 12 cars.
Oh my God.
Cousin Hollywood too. Once someone trusts you, you're in the circle.
I'm like, man, yes, sir, right away. I got you.
Is everything he's requesting of you, you understand it?
Oh, yeah,
you're
100%.
processing it, no,
if I don't, I'm saying yes right away, sir. No is not in my vocabulary. If I don't have it, I'm going to try to figure it out and get it. So he helped introduce me to Chris, and then, it was the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. And the next thing you know, Jamie is like, man, you know what? He was like, this is a show. He's like, this is a show. He's like, what you do is a show. Mm-hmm. He's like, we got to take this to Discovery Channel. And I'm like, nah, no way. He's like, for sure, 100%.
It is a show.
This is a show. He goes, I can sell this tomorrow. I'm like, what do you mean? He's $1 million wheels. He's like, this is a car show. What you do and the hustle and bustle about making these deals happen and these cars and how crazy they are and the clients that you work with. Now, fast forward, this is to recent time, like last year.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a show. We got to make this a show.
Let me ask you a question. Does RD stand for the real deal?
I guess.
I mean, you're making some stuff happen.
Research and development, real deal, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you can remember it was a crazy time. He's like, let's put together. So we put together the show, the sizzle, and start and set the pitches.
Was Discovery always top of mind for?
No
Okay.
idea.
It was just like,
we love
this
our
is the show.
Yeah, he's
Let's
like,
roll.
this is a show. This is my guy. He's gonna go with you and shoot the sizzle. So his guy comes, Taylor, amazing, talented, Emmy award winning guy, and he says, "Okay, sit down right here, and let's go." And so I sit down in the chair in the garage with the cards behind me, and Future's calling, this person's calling, that. He's like, "Take it, please, take it." It's on FaceTime.
That's the show.
He's asking for the cards. We're shooting the sizzle. We're putting it together. He's like, "How's that sizzle coming?" I sent it to him. He's like, "Man, this thing is looking incredible, insane." He goes, we got to do the first meeting. So the people get back to us. They're like, "Hey, yeah, the meeting's going to be at his house, or the meeting's going to be with him, but it's going to be on Zoom. It's going to be at 9 a.m. I'm like, 9 a.m. I'm like, this guy's like doing 9 a.m. Like there's no chance. He doesn't get up at 9 a.m. It's not like he's getting up and going to work.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, that's the only time. It's 9 a.m. or not. So I'm like, man, how am I going to do this at 9 a.m.? I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go to his house. I'm going to go to his house and I'm going to set up the Zoom and I'm going to set it up at his house. I'm calling the security. I'm like, "Man, you got the breakfast ready? Is Starbucks ready? Did you got his latte? Is he up yet?" They're like, "Oh man, he's not up yet." He works all night. He's either writing or filming or recording, and he's a night owl.
Yeah.
He's not doing 9 a.m.
Okay, so you're at Jamie Foxx's house to do the Zoom call.
to do the pitch.
It's a pitch to Discovery.
Yeah.
And now we know that Jamie Foxx is a night owl. So, so he sleeps all day. He does the night.
He doesn't get up at 9,
Right.
but he doesn't sleep all day. He gets up when he wants,
Okay, yeah, right.
So I got the 2 chairs set up like this in the living room, and I got a little stool and the laptop, and I'm like, "Man, is he up yet?" No, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to have to run this. My first pitch, never pitched a thing. So everyone's on the call.
The third time you've been at Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, but you already
So it was a
pitched
bro in
it.
Vegas,
Yeah.
a gun blazing, and now you're doing a pitch
Now
meeting.
this is like the 100th time, but now I'm like, man, I got to figure out this pitch. So I'm like, they're like all expecting him to be there. They took the meeting because of him, not
Right.
because of me. They don't know who I am. So I'm running through the sizzle. I'm running through the deck. I'm telling them about the clients, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is cool." Now, mind you, I have 2 chairs set up, and I'm here doing my thing, and they're like, "Oh, we'll get back to you," and I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "Okay, we're wrapping up the call. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it." And I'm just like, man, I can't believe this guy didn't come down. And I look over, and he's standing there drinking Starbucks. he's drinking a Starbucks. And he goes, "Man, that was great." And he sits down. He goes, "You did a good job." He goes, "Now let me tell you about RD." And he starts telling him about these stories that we're doing with the cars and everything. They said, "We do not take this anywhere else. We'll take it on the spot.
Wow.
We want it." And so that's how
Crazy.
So you think he was testing you to see if you could hold the show down?
Oh yeah, he was
Or
just seeing.
he just wanted to see if
he
you
goes,
could
"Man,
hold your own."
he goes, I've done a lot of pitches." He goes, "That was a pretty good pitch." He said, "You're pretty good at this."
That's awesome.
And so that's how we got to where we are now, in this location in Beverly Hills. So we came out here full time, and we opened up.
So
this
Beverly
shop.
Hills is home now.
And Beverly Hills is home
You
now.
want to get a steak after this or something?
Yeah, we're gonna have
I
to.
live right here on Doheny. I can't believe this is your garage.
2 minutes away. So we just finished the first season. It's on Discovery Plus. Also aired on TNT. We got amazing partners at Discovery, and it was was a lot of fun. So season 1 is done and it's on the air, so you can check it out on.
I'm gonna check
on
it out.
Discovery
You want to
Plus.
hire me as an actor, like a crazy mechanic,
100%.
smoking cigars and like drinking
100%.
Slurpees all day?
100%. Let's do it.
So for me, this was an incredible story, one that I couldn't even imagine. But I'll go back to Jamie Foxx's question. What are you? I'll let you define that, because I don't even have an answer. You're a
Yeah.
guy, at a hotel, ski-boarding and snowboarding.
Yep.
And then you say, I don't know anything. You want a Rolls
He's
Royce.
a name
you
dropper.
drive
He's a connector.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
And then you come this far. Like, what would you identify yourself as? What are you? I would say you're a wizard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out.
Definitely a hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure it
hard
out.
work. And your demeanor, you never seem to lose your composure. See, I'm a guy that suffers from anger issues. I
Every
can
single
tell
person
you,
in this room is like,
RD,
Oh.
the pressure points that were put on you in that hangar for Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I would not have handled them with your grace and elegance.
Yeah. It gets tricky sometimes.
Yeah. So I just love it. Yes, you said you don't say no. Yes is the answer.
Yeah. No's not in the vocabulary. And that's what we tried. That's what we talk about a lot in the show is betting on yourself, never giving up, keep on swinging. If I can do it, you guys can do it. Anybody can do it. Anything is possible. And we try to give that message, in the show and in the episodes, because we don't talk about this story in the show, but we want to give viewers, some inspiration as well.
The interesting thing is, like, everybody we've interviewed on Name Drop has somebody that pushed them in the direction, a manager, a family member. But I think you're a one-man army. You just had a dream about buying a Rolls Royce, and there was nobody that said you can do this or do it. It was just on your own.
Yeah, I just bet on yourself, believe in yourself. Whatever you want to do, obviously you want to be good at it. You want to make sure it does make you money, and then if you can have fun while you're doing it, pursue it.
Even better.
Pursue it. But you got to be good at it too, though.
I think you're an extraordinary people person. I mean, you're getting hit up by CEOs of Shake Shack and Maxim, and then you have Oscar award-winning Jamie Foxx. I mean, does any of that mean anything to you? Do you get nervous, or are you just kind of like people are people?
Yeah, we're in the people business. We're not in the car, boat, or plane business. We're really in the customer service business. That's it. We're in the people business. That's why I love it, because it's who you meet, like how we met,
Yeah, I love you. Your boy gave me a car to go down to the racetrack. It was fantastic.
Joey, Michael, our whole team.
Yeah.
They're all from hotel backgrounds. Michael worked at the Montage. Joey worked at the Montage. All of our key people came from hospitality.
Okay.
Because I didn't care if they knew anything about cars.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure they knew how to take care of people.
Oh.
And then we could figure out the rest.
And I like that you keep your people. You're loyal.
Yeah, they're
That's
the
a
best.
Philly style thing. We don't have much in Philly, but we're loyal.
They're the best to ever do it.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
What's your favorite car?
Probably this Bugatti behind you.
Okay, tell me about the Bugatti, because I can barely pronounce it, and I definitely have to spell it.
It's blue and black carbon fiber, so the whole car is carbon fiber. And it's a pretty fast car, like 200 plus miles an hour, all handmade.
Casual.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't want to keep interjecting.
This one is also amazing. This Shelby is a full carbon fiber classics recreations. Shelby, the entire tub is carbon fiber, and it's 1,000 horsepower.
That's more my speed.
That's a
Muscle car. I'm a meathead.
I have a question, because I'm a car
Yes.
guy. I love cars. This is like I feel like I'm 7 years old right now. So, if you were to take Bugatti or the Regera, have you driven the Regera?
No.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, what's the better ride? Like, how does it feel?
That one, I mean, the Bugatti drives incredible, but Regera is fast also, That's 1,500 horsepower, one gear, hybrid.
This is great.
One
It's like
continuous gear.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's a quick car.
Yeah.
But that car is also full carbon fiber.
Yeah. That's
One of 3 in the world. I think 88, around 88, 84 complete cars.
Is the Regera the one is that the 1-to-1, like the weight is as much as his horsepower or something like that? Or
Something like
is that
that.
the 1-to-1 spec?
That's one of 3 cars in complete carbon fiber.
All right, tell me. Listen, I'm coming from a place of completely uninformed with cars. Carbon fiber. Tell the audience, if they were not informed about cars, what is carbon fiber?
It's just a very lightweight material to help the car go faster.
So it's lightweight,
Yeah.
durable.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing you could have a car made of right now. Is
Yes.
Carbon fiber.
Absolutely.
All right.
So you're half of your business, majority of your business is, like you said, is working with people, and you have all these connections. You're working with all these celebrities. You're working at the people level. But then how do you get to the level of getting the most rare, hard to find cars at the same time?
You just figure it out. You know, after being in it so long, you get the calls. People know that they can call you and you can pull the trigger, and they know that you have the client list.
So
of
that
people,
really obviously is
yes,
what's helping, right?
Yeah, they know that you know the people that want these
That
cars.
wants it.
Okay.
And you're here in LA and Beverly Hills.
I'm backtracking here. So when you told the guy at the hangar that
Yes.
said there's no way that we're going to park cars here, and you said you can have a Lamborghini whenever you want, two things that
I did not have the Lamborghini at that point.
Okay, all right, that's number one. But in my head, again, not that I'm a worrier or a stressor, you'd have to have that car insured under the name, hypothetically.
Yeah, we had to add them to the policy.
Okay, so you
Okay.
did add them to the policy. You didn't wing it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So everything's
yeah.
by the books. Then.
Yeah.
Then my next question is, how many times did they go to the well for the Lamborghini?
Oh.
They made
You
pay?
could not get these guys out of the cars. They love, and I love these guys. You could not get them out of the car, but they're good guys. Anytime I needed anything, they looked out for me.
And they were good drivers.
Yeah,
They understood.
They had a bunch of cars and toys and planes, but man, when I told them that, they were there. They were there.
Hey, I got a date tonight.
They were
Yeah.
there. They were there.
Unreal.
Yeah.
This is a great.
Has the
story.
business expanded to car or jets and boats and all
Yeah,
that?
we're the dealer. We're the licensed dealer for cigarette boats.
Okay.
So now
Sick.
we're the only dealer west of the Mississippi for cigarette boats, for
Wow.
cigarette racing.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
What's
sell.
a cigarette boat? Come on,
It's
after
like
It's
the-
like a slim sleep speedboat.
Like
Yeah,
the
so they
cool-
make
yeah.
center consoles and speedboats,
Yeah.
you know, and they've been around for a very long time. Very high. It's like the Bugatti of boating.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the planes go hand in hand because some
Of course.
people want to buy planes also. So we've been able to buy and sell some planes.
And then
along.
how did you kind of transform that into the NFT side?
You know, because the planes, once they became tax deductible,
Yeah.
and we were at the airport, I knew the people that had the planes. And then when the tax rule came out that you could write off an airplane year number one, the entire purchase price, it's changing now. I think it's over 7 years. I found a few people with planes, and then I started to sell them to our car customers.
Wow.
And then people wanted to know, going into the NFT side, we're doing an NFT with ETH jets, is how can you fly private, and how can you fly private affordably? So we came out with an NFT with a company called ETH Jets, which is a private jet charter company, where if you purchase a membership, there's 3 levels of memberships, you get access to all of the empty leg flights in the country. So for example, an empty leg is if someone charters a plane from here to Vegas, they pay for the round trip.
Right.
Once the plane gets here, it needs to go back to Vegas. It's going back empty. So that flight will be sold for a fraction of the regular charter price.
Yeah.
So having that membership, you get access
so
to
sick.
all the empty legs all over the country. So a flight to Vegas round trip could normally be $20,000. You can get an empty leg portion of that for $5,000, for example.
Makes sense.
So
That's
ETH,
so awesome.
you can check it out on ethjets.com, and that we're launching that NFT in about 30 days. And the app will say you're in LA, and it will geotag your location, and it will give you all the available flights in the LA area that they're empty and where they're going.
Yeah.
And so you can hop on one and
See, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because if
So
you're
one
just
person, though,
bored,
or
no,
they have
no,
to get the whole
you get
jet?
you get the entire plane.
can you
it's
imagine though? If
yeah,
you're like,
it's
raining
going
in
anyways.
LA?
Right.
The plane's
Yeah.
going back. The entire jet is going back anyways. You have the opportunity with ETH Jets in the membership to purchase that empty leg flight and take it back. And say
For a
it's-
fraction of the
That's
cost.
sick.
for a fraction of the cost.
So how many people could be on this jet?
It depends on what size. It could
How
be
many
like,
cases of Miller lattes can fit?
Yeah. It could be 6, 14, or 30, right?
yeah, I mean not 30, but probably 6, 10, or 14.
Okay.
And the prices may vary depending on how bad the jet needs to go back.
Right.
How much money did they make on the first flight? It's going back regardless. A lot of times they'll just say, hey, whatever our cost is for fuel, we've already made our money. Let's go ahead and sell it for fuel costs. Fuel costs might be $4,000. Fuel costs might be $6,000, might be $10,000. Depends on size of the aircraft.
Great idea.
That's
So,
so
it
awesome.
gives everyone access to planes at a more affordable price instead of having to pay for a full charter. Because I've seen the flights on there for $5,000 to Vegas. You get 6 people and they all pitch in. It's a little more doable.
Making sense because Bob Menery woke
I love
me up.
Bob.
I know,
Yeah.
but he woke me up. He's like, "You got to come to Vegas," and I mean, I was violently hungover, and the last place I needed to be was Vegas. He goes, "Dude, I have a jet all by myself." Dude, he had a jet. It was just he and I on that jet to Vegas, one way, and I think it was probably $4,000.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of money for 2 guys on a jet.
For Vegas, yeah.
But still, I mean,
That was a good deal.
it was a good deal.
Yeah.
And I kept
Those-
asking him, how did
those-
you get this deal? Is it Groupon or a promo code?
This is similar to that. So it's an affordable way where people can look at flights, and they also EasyJet's locked in a bunch of operators, and they said, okay, we want to be able to lock in these hourly rates on these planes for these locations. So if you don't have an empty leg, you can still get one at a wholesale cost.
And as a guy that doesn't like to travel, I mean, a jet opposed to commercial, it's not even in the conversation.
What was the quote you told me before?
I can't remember.
If you could fly private, you
Jet,
would,
you
right?
would.
Yeah.
Well, it's Bill Maher. Bill Maher
Maher.
says it all the time. He goes, if you could afford to fly private,
Yeah.
you would do it.
And that's our goal with the NFT is not only do you get the membership, but the membership comes on a smart contract. The membership goes up, you can sell it and you make money because it's on a smart contract. Unlike NetJets, you can't sell your membership. This membership you can sell and transfer at any time.
And hypothetically say, okay, I can get this jet for $5,000 and holds 12 people. I could get all 12 people to kick in.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's the key, right?
That's the key. Absolutely. So it gives a more affordable way to private aviation.
You know I like to gamble, right?
Of course. Of course.
How do I get on this short list?
We're going to get you a
Before
membership.
I leave, I'm getting this app.
Yeah, we got to get you a
This
membership.
is like danger fun too.
Yeah,
Like
and it's
for
good.
real.
It's now a lot of people, due to COVID and a lot of things, a lot of people have been flying private. So there's more and more empty legs. There's double the empty legs now than what there used to be. And these planes have already been paid for. So
Right.
it's going back empty regardless. So it gives you a way to take advantage of that empty leg flight.
It's that old false adage of free money. It is technically free money. Like, hey, it's going back anyway. We made
It's going
dough.
back regardless.
Why not?
If we can sell it to even make a little bit more, but at an affordable price, of course, we're going to put someone on it, pays for the pilots, may pay for the maintenance and our hangar fees. Well, let's do it.
yeah.
Dude, how did you figure out hangar fees, pilots, all this stuff? I mean, you must research, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I've been. I feel like you were born into it.
I've been flying with these guys for such a long time, and it was, a fraction of the cost. It's like, how do you guys do this? They said, well, we have an application called Avinode, and on that application, it gives you every single plane. Gear Down will tell you about this. It gives you every single plane on a must-move basis. It's going back anyways, and it shows you the plane, the exact cost, and where it's leaving from. So what EasyJets did is they tied that into an app that's coming out on your phone, where you can click on that and have access to that site. And that site lists every single plane and when it needs to move. It shows you the location, the size, and the price, and it's wholesale.
Riddle me this.
Yes.
Our dear friend Tommy,
Yes,
he said he is the Han Solo of jet pilots.
he is.
He is.
He's come to get us before. I'll tell you one more quick story. We got stuck in Cabo for New Year's with Jamie, and this was like New Year's Day, and we needed to come back. Jamie needed to get back for something.
Work for
Yeah, and a few people, we were dealing with a bunch of stuff, and we needed a plane to come by and get us because the pilots that came down got COVID.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
And they said, listen, your pilot's got COVID. You can't go back. You're not going to be able to go back for a few weeks. So I'm thinking, oh my God, like Jamie's like, we're in a war room situation at this point. He's like, hey, bro. I said, Fox, it's New Year's Day. It's the busiest travel day of the year.
Ever.
Everyone's booked. He goes, huh, you better figure it out. We're in his room at a conference table. And he's like, if anyone can do it, you can do it. Like, we need to figure this out. So I hit Gear Down. I said, bro, I need a favor. I'm stuck in Cabo. They're saying we got to do a mandatory quarantine for 2 more weeks. Jamie has to get back to do an event or film. So it was something very, very important. He's like, oh man, what? He's just like waking up. He's like, you know, yeah. He's like, what? I said, I got a mission. You got to come rescue us in Cabo. He's like, bro, New Year's Day. Like, man, we went out last night. He's like, this is crazy. Gets in the Gulfstream. Tells Dre London, we FaceTime with Dre London. He says, fine, you can take my plane. You deal with gear down. You got to get gear down to come pick you up. So I tell him, I said, bro, please. I got Jamie on the phone with them, everything we're trying to figure out. He's like, I'll be there in 2 hours.
Oh my God.
He drives to the airport. He flies down to Cabo to pick us up. Jamie's already a scary flyer. You know, gear down gets off t-shirt and board shorts.
Yeah.
Jamie said, let me talk to you for a second. He said, who's that? I said, yeah, that's my guy. You know, that's geared down. He said, yeah, but where are the pilots? I said, no, that's geared down.
Him.
That's the pilot. He's the best pilot I know. And he's flown Jamie like 100 times, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's like, okay. He's like, are you sure he's good? I said, yeah. I said, not only is he good, I said, Jamie, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
And he's flown us 100 times, like everywhere. He goes, that's the same guy. I said, yeah, that's the same guy. I said, that's geared down. He's the best. Geared down, comes out, baseball hat, board shorts, flip flops. He's like, y'all ready to go? I said, absolutely, man. Close this door. Let's get out of here. So Geared Down ended up coming and saving us.
Tommy Geared Down.
He came and saved us on New Year's Day and flew us back to the States.
If there's 2 types of people on earth that I want to be confident, 1 are my surgeons and 2 are my pilots.
Yeah. And he's one of the best.
Yeah.
He's one of the best to ever do it. Talk about a good pilot. Talk about an instructor. Not only can he fly Gulfstreams, he can fly Citations, he can fly props. This guy can fly anything. He's one of the best guys. Not only can he fly, but he can instruct you while you're flying so you can get your license.
That's wild.
He's
Do you
a
have your
real
license?
I have my student license.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Which I got in Colorado. But he is the best pilot, one of the best pilots I've ever met. He knows his stuff. Yeah. Shout out to Geared Down.
Shout out to Geared Down.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean. I think we've said it all.
We did it all.
We did it all. So we're from Colorado. Well, originally Florida.
Yeah.
Colorado. Ski boarding.
Snowboarding.
Skiboarding.
Get them ski boards out.
Driving rolls. And now we're in the hills of Beverly.
That's it.
Just rolling.
Now we're here.
Unbelievable.
ETHJets.com.
RD, thank you so much.
Thank you
being
for
on
having
Name
me,
Drop.
brother.
I love you, Pat. I'm proud
Thank
of
you, guys.
I have a quick question before we
Yes,
go.
please.
For all the wealthy people that are watching this episode,
Yes.
when they buy a car from you,
Yes.
They want to know,
Yes.
what's the smoother ride, the Rolls or the Maybach?
Oh, man, the Rolls for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my final question.
Yes,
okay?
please, fire away.
You have the new Countach back there.
Yes.
Very rare. It's the first time I've actually seen it in person, right? To my understanding, it has the Venador chassis inside, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. Does it drive the same, or like what's
It's
like
one of the
Venador?
fastest cars I've ever driven.
Faster than the base of Venador?
Yes,
Shit,
for
I
sure.
didn't know that. Okay.
That car's not for sale. It's
Not
in
for sale.
private collection, just to be
Yeah.
clear.
Okay. That means.
But that is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that car's sexy. Okay. I was just. Yeah, we're
It's
good.
one
I
of the
was
first cars in the country. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of 112.
Wow.
This is unreal. Who do people say you look like?
Aaron Paul.
Maybe. I'm sitting here going, RD, man.
I don't know.
You do belong on
I get that a
TV.
lot.
I have my agent over here. He wants to sign you. He's salivating over there. He does work with
see.
Discovery. That's an amazing story.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we're going
Thank
to
you.
have to hang out, man. I live right up the
100%.
street. I can walk down here.
We'll grab a steak.
You gotta go to. I heard there's a new place right here called is it Steak 48?
Steak 48.
I heard
Andrew
Slam.
Cohen.
Is it slamming?
Mastro's family.
I'm
Yeah.
going tonight.
Amazing.
You got a big bar I can sit at, right?
Delicious food. They have an amazing bar. They have a few bars, and the food is phenomenal.
That's where we're hitting
It's
it.
guys from Scottsdale.
Really?
That's it.
Yeah.
All comes back to Scottsdale.
It does.
Does
does.
it? Can we not?
It does.
Can it not?
It does.
My damn Eagles lost the Super Bowl, though. I was supposed to go, but I can't fly because I got this gas bubble in my eyeball because I got detached retina. I can't. I was ready to go fly there, had my ticket and everything. I was fired up. However, I will say, when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, I was so happy to be on my couch at home.
Yeah.
Disappointed. And I said, hey, great season. Turned it off. Hit the sack.
Yeah.
So, good luck, bad luck. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll get them next year, right?
Next year. Great game. We'll get them next year.
All right. That's it for Name Drop. Please listen, like, subscribe, rate anywhere you podcasts are available.
And YouTube.
Thank you, guys.